What's up, everybody? I'm here with Gio. He is a producer who works in TV and sync licensing. He has landed hundreds of placements. And so we're bringing him on today to talk a little bit about what to look out for and maybe how to get into it. Gio, do you want to introduce yourself?
I mean, I think you did a pretty good job. Yeah. My name's Gio. I produce and songwrite, and I'm also an artist manager for a couple of artists. And yeah, I specialize in what I call closed audience playlists as well as sync licensing, and I help musicians monetize their music on those revenues. In my platform, Modern Nostalgia Club. But yeah.
So, what kind of placements do you think you're most proud of when you think about what TV placements stick out to you? What would you say?
For me, it's not so much like the notable ones. It's like kind of the the amount, like the
Mhm.
fact that I can average like over 50. Like I don't want to like say too many, but like over 50 yearly is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like annually, like more consistency is really what I'm proud of, more than like the amount, or I mean, not even the amount, but like the notoriety of the placement. I think a couple of people that I know, or just people every once in a while, when they bring up sync, it's always like got a Super Bowl placement, or I got. It's always like one placement that sticks out in their mind. You know, for me, it's really like the volume of placements and like how I can just kind of keep doing this.
I think I remember one time you even said a quote. You said it's not about how many, or it's not how big the percentage is. It's about how
And how
many.
many percentages? Yep, I always say that it's not about the amount of percentage. It's not the it's not the amount of percentage. It's the amount of percentages. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's the amount of money that you have. It's always that. Even when it comes to your catalog, I think that so many people focus on like the top three dope songs that they have, and they just try to push that without really kind of giving each song that they have like a just due. Because one of the things that I've been saying lately is that we have been putting too much stock into pre-release. These songs, when they're out forever, so you could just promote them for the rest of your life, honestly.
And for somebody who like is just hearing it, it doesn't matter if it came out 5 years
Yes,
ago, 5 days
yeah,
ago. It's
yeah.
new to their ears, and so you
There,
can always promote stuff, right?
there's so many people who thought that that song from Kate Bush, "Running Up That Hill," came out that year for Stranger Things.
Okay.
She's actually Big Boy from Outkast.
Uh huh.
That's his favorite artist. Uh he actually awarded her with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when she got it.
Oh, that's
Like,
cool. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
but she was like not unknown. Like we like people who knew music knew her, but like you could see how pop music is now. It
Right.
just the turnaround is so quick. And that's actually because of sync, but we'll talk about that later. But even like the other day, one of the homies was trying to describe a song to one of the younger artists that we were working with, and he was like, "It's kind of like a One Direction song," and they were like, "Who's One Direction?"
Hmm.
And they were like, Harry Styles. They're like, "Yeah, what about him?" His group. They're like, "What group?" They're like the group that with him and Zayn. They're like, Zayn, him and Zayn know each other.
Uh
Like,
huh.
like they're like that. They're like where like they don't know certain people, or like when you tell you talk about Ludacris's old like catalog. They're like, Ludacris is a rapper. Like that type of stuff. Like the turnaround for pop is so much that we don't even realize. Like, uh, I forgot what my own point was, but like, what were we talking about just now?
You were telling me a little bit about how the turnaround for pop is so quick that sometimes you don't know who some artists are, and then when you look back
Yeah,
into they blow up on a TV show or
yeah.
they or
Well,
whatever.
not only that. Like back in the day, we had a monolithic pop culture. So,
Okay.
like, for example, like this, like if you and I search something right now, we would get two different search results. Back when we were younger, like everybody watched 24, or everybody knew what the Game of Thrones were, or even when like Stranger Things came out, everybody watched Stranger Things.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. Like
Right.
there's so many avenues and people have so many choices that actually fracture our culture. So
How do you
like
think that impacts sync licensing?
I think that that impacts sync licensing positively because well, positively and negatively. There's more options now, but I think
Yeah.
for people that are prioritizing quality over quantity, like each sync license is less upfront now.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But with someone such as myself who like prioritizes volume,
Mhm.
it's actually very advantageous because like there's more use of all of your catalog. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes what I'll do is I'll make. You know me, I'm super volume oriented.
We'll hop in a session and make 5 or 6 songs in like
Yeah,
4 hours and then move
yeah,
on.
less. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
No.
because you go fast, I go fast. The
Yeah.
people that we work with go fast. So if I'm making like 5 to 10 beats, and then you're just focused on verses, and other person's focused on hooks, you
Yeah.
guys go back and forth. You guys can do 10, 12 songs in like a couple hours.
Yeah. Because everybody's doing. They're not all in the same song, but it's
Hmm.
a big collab session where everybody's just doing their own piece and putting it together.
Yeah, and you've been in like studio sessions. You were just in one. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's working on one song at a time, playing that song over and over. 3 hours, one song. You know,
Yeah.
and look, that's cool too, right? But it's a time and a place, right? Like it's
Right.
definitely a time and place for that. Like one of the things that I like to do is like really like you're right. Like just get songs cranked out because we know ourselves good enough to know that we're pretty decent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then we can then grade our songs after. I always say, don't curate what you create, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
You have always said that.
yeah, yeah. So like, make all the bad shit too. Make all of it. Make all the stuff.
I was
You know.
just talking to Brittany about that actually, not even
Uh,
like 3 days ago. I was telling her that really like it's okay to make bad music.
mm-hmm.
You just got to
Absolutely.
do it and move on because you're your own worst critic. And it's so annoying, especially for like a few of my placements. It's always the songs that I don't like that end up selling. And it's like, bro, like I put so much time and effort into this one song and I freaking did a freestyle over a random pack of beats that a TV producer sent me and that's landing. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, the thing is, it's because you have so much context of creation that
Mhm.
you value the song more. So
Yeah,
people
exactly.
take everything at face value. So like a lot of the stuff that you think is corny, it's corny because it's easy to you. That low hanging fruit,
Exactly.
though, I always tell people, and you've heard me say this before: unless your song is magic and can kill you in your sleep, there's no such thing as a good and a bad song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always it's always it's a stretch of like it's just a different. It's just all good. It's just a different like grades of good, right? Based on opinion
Yeah.
and based on context of creation. I always say that because the people who don't know how to create actually appreciate the song for what they understand it as.
Right.
You know what
Because
I'm
what
saying?
they perceive it as, what they catch on.
That's actually really what the song is for. I also always say plants don't eat their own fruit. So when you said you're your own worst critic, it had nothing to do with like you being hard on yourself. It's literally you being the worst qualified person to critique yourself. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's true. I always tell the story about my friend who's like a Michelin star chef, and she served us like the bombest wagyu steak.
Uh-huh.
And I remember joking with her, I'm like, damn, you must be sick of steak having to cook it this much to get it this perfect.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm vegetarian. And I'm like, how do you know how to cook it then? And
Uh-huh.
she's like, I'm a chef. I cook to serve. I
Mhm.
don't cook to eat. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
like, she knows what a good steak tastes like without needing to taste it. She always told me, like, it's just unfortunate because the thing that I'm good at isn't the thing I enjoy as far as like eating, but I enjoy the process. So it doesn't matter what I'm making, and it doesn't matter if I don't eat it. I'm enjoying making it, and that's what matters. And I
So for
really,
somebody who wants to get into sync licensing,
yeah.
how does that perspective kind of help you step into it and learn to because you could be nervous, especially if you're new about doing
Yeah.
something quality. You're
So,
critiquing yourself
so
like, oh,
this
yeah.
is the thing that I'm always so contentious about, and you know this. Uh, I don't like people writing for sync. I like
Mhm.
people to just make music, but understand what it takes to have a sync song.
Right.
A lot of it is you just the song can't be boring and it has to be good, but at the same time, it really just has to be legally clearable.
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people like with like the royalty free loops and all this stuff, they like there's so many things that so many people like they're hung up on when it comes to sync.
Hmm.
When in reality, it's like if a person enjoys your song, they're gonna go like a music supervisor told me like you should have all your songs clearable because the way that we look for our songs is we go into your social media and the first 5 to 10 songs that we like we're going to try to sync it, and if we can't license it we'll probably just move on.
Right.
Like that, like I know more than one music supervisor has told me that.
So
And
then, what
then
for people who
go ahead.
don't know, what
Yeah,
makes a song legally clearable? Like how? What makes a song
so
one stop?
all right, so let's start with legally clearable. Right. Well, I'm. Oh, by the way, I preface this. I am not a lawyer by any stretch of the imagination. But what
I'm
I
glad I
mean by yeah, what I mean by legally clearable is like if they go to get permission to use your song, they don't have any headaches. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that when it comes to making music,
Hmm.
right? They don't think about that when it comes to making music. And
It's
when
just
you
what feels
ask
good in the moment.
exactly, so when people ask me, what should I do to like get into sync? You should make hit music, really, because the
Yeah.
hits that are on the radio are sync
Right.
licensable songs. So, like a lot of the time, people don't realize the reason they call it commercial music is because it's an ad for something. It's
Right.
literally we're promoting the soundtrack or the thing or whatever. Even Olivia Dean's stuff, the stuff that she recently put out, like you see a lot of like Burberry stuff, Cartier, like she, like you use it to promote things. So when people ask me about getting into it, it's really about understanding like how to properly make a song. And a lot of the times people will just go on YouTube, find a beat, write to it, rip it
Vibe
off
out.
YouTube. They
Yeah.
won't even buy it. They won't even lease it or nothing.
Then they throw it on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. And so many people are like, well, I got the unlimited lease. So if it blows up, I'm ready.
but if
And
you
they don't,
read the
yes, if you
usage
read,
terms,
yes, yes.
it's good up until a certain number, and now
Not
you don't
only
have
that,
the lease
even
anymore.
the unlimited lease isn't like you can't use it for sync really. You can't
Yeah.
put content ID. Like there's a lot of different ways to like monetize your music that you can't do it. And I always tell people if your songs are good enough to be in a closed audience playlist, which I'll explain in a second, it's good enough for sync licensing and good enough to, be known, for
Is
like
sync licensing a closed setting audience?
yes, yes
It
it
is,
is. It's like the ultimate closed audience playlist.
right?
Yeah, so closed audience playlist is like, a place where all your audience is kind of trapped for lack of a better word. Like they're not going anywhere. You kind of have their attention.
Yeah.
So it could be a supermarket, like the music you hear there, like on Target or whatever, or like a restaurant,
A theme song for a
hospital,
TV show.
theme song for a TV show, but also like if you're like at a Laker game or something like that.
Mhm.
We have a friend architect who that's what he does for the Houston Rockets. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And there's so many things. And then like, we have you know, different things. Like I always like to there's things that people don't think of when it comes to monetizing the music. They're always thinking of streaming and they think that that's what make
Right.
how people make music and
Right.
they make money through streaming. Think about that though. Like imagine a song is an orange tree, right?
Okay.
Right? And let's say you're an orange farmer, right?
Okay.
You could do one of two things, right?
Right.
You could sell it to people on the side,
Hmm.
right? Free oranges, dollar each or whatever.
Hmm.
Or you could sell it to Sunkist. You get what I'm saying?
Because Sunkiss would pay more. You're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they would pay for that same thing over and over again. They want the juice from that continually.
So for somebody
You
who
know?
doesn't know where to find, because you've got a farmer who is
Mhm.
farming the oranges, right?
Yes.
He's like, I don't even know how to get in contact with Sunkist for
Yeah.
sync
Well, see,
licensing. How
and
can
and
people find these people?
so that part's easy. The hard part is getting them to consider you, because a lot of the times what people do is they try to chase, and that's not bad. But a lot of the times people don't pick them because they're not ready. So if they're
Uh-huh.
constantly like honing what they're doing, I really like, if they don't have a catalog, it is a waste of time to do that. Like someone like yourself has a catalog. Like
Mhm.
you already are on the time where it's not even so much pitching, it's really providing context for those songs. And like when it comes to already having the music, and what I mean already having the music, you have to have your ducks in a row. And there's a reason why you keep asking me about how they can do it, and I'm going to get there, but I'm stressing getting it ready because so many people want the placement without like realizing how important it is to have your metadata, all your ducks in a row, all your registration, all that stuff, even before you put it out. Also, it is good to put it out. I know a lot of people say don't put out your songs or whatever,
I think
but
it's perfect. I say put it out.
no, I say put it out all the time. And I'm sure that you've gotten more than a few placements with stuff that you've already had out,
Yeah.
haven't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And matter of fact, that most of the stuff that I've got placed were out first. I think that there's more stuff that I had out first that had been placed than stuff that I like waited to place until it got, and I did both. So I understand the difference in release numbers, and it ain't that different. One thing that is different though is you making money on that thing. I think that you can make more money on it if it is already out.
Right,
And,
because then it's already you can advertise it to more people. I
not
mean,
not only
unless
that, go ahead. What are you saying?
unless a sync license is under some strict exclusive, we need
Hmm.
it. If it's a
Yeah,
lot of them are gonna be non-exclusive, which means you
yeah,
can still put it out. It's still your song and you own the master.
exactly, exactly.
You are selling it to the TV show, to the supervisor
You're
for that
leasing it. You're not even
we're
selling it. That's
leasing
the
it to
best
them.
part. Yeah.
Like the way that rappers, right, like myself, lease beats off YouTube,
Well,
we're
see, I was
leasing our
about to say
music
that.
to them.
So the thing that I don't like about leasing YouTube wise is that that's essentially the same idea when it comes to doing it for like TV and film. The thing is we're doing it to such a micro degree. It's almost like we were conditioned to like devalue our music in that way. But I mean, like I think that there's a place for that. Don't get it
Mhm.
twisted. Especially like if those people, what I would do instead is, instead of lease, I mean, I would still lease it, but I would allow people to royalty free lease it from as far as listening, not as much as for rappers to use. I would actually do cheap exclusives, provided I get
And then
because
just
yeah,
relicense it? That's
yeah,
funny.
no. Cheap exclusives, and then like really pitch them for cent. You'd make more money. Artist and producer would make more money
Uh-huh.
doing it that way if you really just did that, and you don't promote your stuff on YouTube when it comes to making beats. You promote the songs you make, and then people are like, I want beats like that. That's usually how I make my money. Like
Right.
so many people come to me for beats, not because I have stuff on YouTube, it's because I have songs out. And that I don't really like post on social media. Usually what post is like somebody will like tag me as like a collaborator, and that'll post, you
Right.
know. And that's actually been my greatest form of like promotion is work, you
So,
know.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
For somebody like yourself,
yeah.
you are living fully off of your music,
Yes, ma'am.
um, and, did you say yes, ma'am?
Yes, man. Yes,
Oh,
man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, sir. How's that? Yes,
um,
man. Yeah,
but for somebody like yourself who's living fully
yeah,
off of your music,
yeah.
but you're not posting on social media, that's gonna confuse a lot of people because I thought social media is gonna help build me. I thought I need these numbers. For somebody like yourself who isn't posting,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
tell me what the day-to-day lifestyle
So
is.
a lot of people think that they need social media for that.
Mhm,
Um, I don't. I don't really need to do that. I mean, I have so many. I think okay. So I'll wake up. Well, let's start. I have a different schedule than most people. So like
mhm,
I wake up around like 1:30, maybe 2 a.m. in
mhm,
the morning,
Okay.
and then I check on the artist that I manage in the Philippines. Her name is Eunice. Shout out
Mhm.
Eunice. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And right now she's like kind of doing good. She's on autopilot. She just put out a song with a K-pop person,
Cool.
and she's on a cafe tour. So usually I'll just check in on her. I'll either see what she's doing, check in on her like day to day or whatever, and then from there I'll work with people that I have in Ireland and people that I have in the UK, and then from there I'll like I actually like have a pretty consistent where I'll like wake up, check my email, check on Eunice, check on the artists that I work on in the UK, and then I start checking on all the people because I also help different indie labels set up their sync department based on like what they're doing and like try to get all their ducks in a row because a lot of people want to do sync and they have a lot of artists, they just need to know how, just like you said. So I do
Right.
that. But when it comes to monetizing myself, a lot of it is actually putting the work in, whether it's doing all the metadata pitching for stuff briefs, or like I do more interaction than actual posting. Like if I'm on social media, I'll probably go to a music supervisor that I know is looking for music, or even like I'll go to like the trades. So the trades are like Variety, Deadline,
Mhm.
Hollywood Reporter, even like IMDb, and I'll look for stuff that like is either in production or in post. You know what I'm saying? Usually in pre, because I want to like start early, and I'll like kind of map out all the stuff that's working, all the stuff that's not, and all the stuff that's in progress that I have as well, and I'll match it up to the stuff that, all right, this thing's in production. This is a rom com with Method Man and Kelly Rowland, or this is the new Buffy series that just got canceled, by the way. R.I.P. Buffy. Or this is like a reboot of this '90s show that they're making into a series or whatever. I
Mhm.
can't say which one that is, but that's actually happening too. And but and you kind of go through your stuff that you either just did or like the stuff that's like 3 to 4 months old, and you see what you can pitch. Right, that's what I do from like, I want to say 4 to 6 a.m. in the morning, and then I'll like eat breakfast, and then I'll, while I'm eating breakfast, I'll look at the news, and then I'll check all my email because every day I get briefs or edits from people that I work with. Also, I'll get requests from like if producers have my the list that I have. So I have a list that I send producers of pre-cleared tracks for like for temping. Temping is when an editor will use your track to like as a placeholder if they need other music or whatever. A lot of
Okay.
the times though, because my stuff is pre-cleared and it's one stop. One stop means all you have to do is ask me and I can clear it. Doesn't matter. And by the way, one stop should be one person. It doesn't always have to be me either. Like there's some one stops where I'm not the one stop, but I know who the one stop is, and I'll let them know I'll pitched it out. That
Right.
way, like that way they'll be like, all right, well, there's a chance that somebody might hit me for that, you know.
Right.
And a lot of the times the artist wants to be the one stop. That's not terrible, but the artist has to know that if they have a job and that person is waiting on a reply and you have a one stop, you're the one stop, so you're the responsibility for that. If you want to be
This is why you
responsible
get
for
everything in a
dropping off,
line. You put
yeah,
in all your metadata so that it's
yeah,
easy to clear. It's just a send the link. Here's
exactly,
here's a split sheet. Here's the lyric
yep,
sheet. Here's the instrumental, the acapella if you need it, and maybe even a couple stems if you really want to get it.
exactly. Well, the thing is, what I'll do is what you call lazy load, right? Lazy load means you're asking, you make it when they ask for it. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? I do that all the time, and honestly, I shouldn't, but it's done me well a couple of times. There's been a couple of times where I'll pitch a song that's not done. I'll pitch a song that's just the chorus, and when I do that, I do the backwards, where I have everything but the full song. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
hilarious.
So yeah,
That's
and
because,
all
like you said earlier, you need to be able to. The most important thing is that it can be legally cleared.
yes, yes,
You
and
can make that
sometimes
song quick if you need to.
yeah. Matter of fact, I want to say out of the times that it gets approved, only like half of the time, less than probably like one third of the time, do they ask for the full song. Because they're like, "Do you have the instrumental for this?" Is usually what they'll ask. Because
Yeah.
what they'll do is they want to extend that part, or they want the chorus part of the instrumental for if they have like a long conversation, or if it's more of a like they don't want the words, but they want the energy of the chorus. Like
Mhm.
for something that like is more score to them. Like sometimes they'll use a needle drop as a score in that way, but for the most part they'll just want the chorus as a transition. Like you ever see a reality TV show where they have like the like somebody will say something jarring and then they'll like cut it and then it'll just be like,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be like a transition thing.
Yeah.
And like you'll see like, you know like b-roll, b-roll, b-roll outside of a house, and then they'll go inside.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so and usually they'll have like a chorus going, and then they'll have like either you have the end like a sting, or
Mhm.
you'll have like 15 seconds of a beat that'll cut off, so
And the artist still gets paid for that. So even if
yes,
they don't, so that's what a big way that artists can get into it is just working with dope producers who can get things legally cleared, like yourself, be
yes.
able just to work on that record with them, and then you can pitch the beat. You pitch the song, but if the beat lands as an artist, you're still in on that because you were
And
part of the creation.
also, if I was the artist, I would also put that out, because if you're focusing on monetizing yourself, uh social media is an important role when it comes to you making money. You don't have to post, you just have to have people use your sound. And
Right.
if you're yeah, right. So if you actually have the instrumental, you can actually like people can use your shit a lot more. Like they
Right,
can use
and
it
it's just
just
catchy. So if you put out
yeah.
the full song and an instrumental version, or
Yes,
maybe you put
exactly.
down an R&B slowed version,
Yes,
ways,
yes.
you just gotta get it
Yep.
so it can be popular. But the thing about social media, which makes it tough, is that every platform, Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, Instagram, TikTok, they all pay differently.
Yes,
And
they
so
do.
you can do 750 on YouTube and you're seeing a good check, but you do 750 on Instagram, it's gonna be a lot less. And
So
so
that's one of the reasons why I always tell people to like, if you make music that sounds like it can clear for closed audience playlists, not only will that not matter,
mhm,
everything else you make a lot of more money on. For example, uh, when it comes to like different like Peloton, let's say Peloton, perfect example, right? People don't realize that you can like distribute your music to Peloton, and uh the the teachers will use the music, like in their thing. So that means
yeah.
if your music gets used in Peloton like once or twice, instantly that's like 30 or 40,000 people, because it's on everybody's individual screens.
The same thing you said earlier about the oranges. Are
Yes,
you gonna sell it
exactly.
to a ton of minor people or Sunkist? Or maybe you sell it to both.
So because look at it like this, right? If you get one stream on Spotify, it's 1 to 1. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? One person hears it.
Yeah.
If you get one teacher to use it on Peloton,
Mhm.
that's about 20 to 30 people at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Not only that, each stream is 2 to 3 cents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is way more.
Then what is it? Is it's half a
It's
cent for Spotify or is it even
no, it's 0.0000001 cent now
for Spotify? That's
for
crazy.
Spotify.
And they're
And
getting
honest,
rights to your music now too, which is
yes,
a whole
yes.
nother
It's
thing.
not only
Yeah.
that, you're competing with like robots now.
Yeah. Yeah. It is real.
So, and like another closed audience that nobody thinks of is the incarcerated. People don't realize that they have tablets in jail, and so with JPay, right, they can actually
Mm,
listen to your stuff, and it's like
that's
two to
cool.
three dollars a stream.
Right.
Because it's commissary essentially. And someone like you who has like positive Christian music, like that's
They
actually
want to
like
hear
the
that.
bread
Yeah.
and butter, like the Miles Minnicks of the world, and like that's what they want to hear. That and like R&B or like positive pop, like you'll be surprised, you know. And they have a strict like content policy. They can't let everything in, but that's what I mean. If it works on a closed audience, like for example, if it works in the supermarket, it'll work in prison. And if it works in prison, it'll work on film. And if it works on film, it'll work on the radio.
Right.
That's how I tell people. People do it backwards. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you
Uh,
want to know who does it the best? You know who did the best? Lizzo.
Why do you say that?
Because Lizzo started with Sync. The
Okay,
reason,
cool. I didn't know that.
like, if you look at the $1 million worth of game interview, and honestly, like, the reason I discovered Lizzo was because of Sync. Like,
Okay.
like all her stuff like synced like around the same time. Like I saw Someone Great, which was a movie on Netflix with Gina Rodriguez, and they did
Okay.
like a scene where like Gina Rodriguez is like rapping her verse. So like, you know, technically, she probably didn't get paid like this, but if she did it right, she would have got paid for the playing in the background, and she'd also get paid for another rendition of it with Gina and her friend rapping it over.
And it
'Cause-
also matters how long the song is, right?
Yes, and they
Because if it's good
literally
for half a second, it's a
no.
song.
This was a minute 30. This was the first
Yeah.
verse and the chorus. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah. Mm, mm. And it was integral to the scene. Like they interacted with it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's always
Yeah.
good too. Um, that coupled with she had I feel like it was like a hair commercial where they did the I do my hair toss back my
Uh-huh.
nails. They used that part, right? And when they were walking into a thing, it was an ad. It might have been an Old Navy or like a Garnier Fructis ad, and
Uh-huh.
then that same around that, I want to say it's like a weekend or like a week. They also premiered Grownish on ABC, like Family. I think it was still, or it might have been Freeform,
That's cool.
and they used that same one, Good as Hell. They used it at the
Right.
end. That was like the
It's
finale.
catchy and it can be used anywhere. That's what makes
Yes.
that song a good one for
Now
sync.
you get licensed again and again and again.
Yep, exactly. Just and that's why the non-exclusive a lot of
Mhm.
times can be better than an exclusive. An exclusive
Yes.
will pay more, but the
Yeah.
non-exclusive, they get their license of your record, and then you
Right.
can send it out to other people as well, and they
Well,
may
I mean,
even rebook
honestly,
that over and over and over
it
again.
doesn't necessarily pay more either. Sometimes it just what they kind of say that they're going to aggressively pitch it more, because usually when they want it exclusively, it's not so much with a project, although it might be for like an ad or something. You know what I'm saying? If it's like for a film or TV, they usually don't want it exclusive. Sometimes, so if it's like for the soundtrack, maybe like if you made it specifically for that,
Right.
but let's say it's for like a TV show. You don't necessarily need it exclusive, but if agency wants it exclusive, that's usually because um like a lot of the times they trust exclusive libraries a little bit more. Right now they do, just because of how like sometimes quality isn't the best now, and sometimes there's so many songs out there where people have been like double pitching to different agencies that get accepted to double several agencies, and then when there's one brief, because a lot of these agencies are competing for the same shows, so when you have stuff in uh multiple agencies, a lot of them might pitch the same song. You don't ever know,
Right.
you know and that's a problem for a lot of music supervisors, and a lot of the times they'll just avoid that artist altogether. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because then at that point it's a problem and it gets
Yeah,
into
it's not legally sound anymore. Yeah.
exactly.
It kind of feels like the double one stop thing.
So then let me ask you a question for some people
Yeah.
who might not understand it. A lot of times, as like for somebody like myself, I use a
Yeah.
lot of royalty-free loops. I'm not
Yeah.
great on the piano. And
Yeah.
so that's fine. It's cleared for, you know, Apple, it's cleared for
Yeah.
platforms. But then when you want to go and pitch it for sync, even though it says in the
Yeah,
splice terms that it's okay for sync,
yeah.
a lot of times supervisors still patient on that and like they
So
see that as a red
a lot
flag.
of the times it's because producers can be lazy and they will produce it in a way that isn't sound with the rights, because the rights say you have to drastically change it, and a lot of
Uh-huh.
the times they will just drop it in and then drop
That's
loops on
loop.
top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be doing that
So
all.
I know. I mean, I started doing that as well. But one of the things that you also have to do is get the license for the song, like get the
Uh-huh.
license for the
Sound
sound.
itself.
That's the thing that I used to not do a good job at, and I'm a lot better at now. One of the things I've been doing is double backing on the beats,
Uh-huh.
and if I use a royalty free loop, even if it's drums, one thing I'll do is I'll go to like Waves, find better drums, because if it's a 2 track drum from uh Splice, it's not bad. But if you go to Waves WAVS.com, or even like the Cymatics or something, and you get like a multi-track drums with like, you actually have control over everything, the quality, A, B, you have the license for everything, so you can actually, like, if you have your split sheets, your one stop, and your like schedule that has all the stuff that you have, whether it's the certificate of royalty free license, or or the royalty license for the stuff that does have royalty, because that on Waves they have stuff that has royalty too, and what you can do is register the song so you can get the right splits for it. So I just making sure everything is sound. So even if you're using royalty free, like if you're purchasing royalty free loops like from Instagram, and at the very least make sure you have like the paper that's like, oh, this is for that. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because
Have
then you can submit
everything.
that and you can say, this is my
Yes,
legal
yes.
protection. You're
I have a
reducing your
yes.
liability.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it doesn't guarantee that people will use it, but what it is they'll feel better about you having all your ducks in a row, because they'll be like, okay, he's not trying to fuck me. You know what I'm
Because
saying? He's
last
not
thing
trying.
that they need is for them
Yes,
to get sued, and now they got to pay for everything because they did it and you didn't give them the right information.
exactly, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why it's important, if there's more than one person on the one stop, is just call it an easy clear. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Right.
bad if it's an easy clear. It's just not as clearable as a one stop, because that means they know they have to hit everybody. But
Right.
it's all about the peace of mind of the music supervisor. Like, I think a lot of people are hung up on what is and isn't allowed. They don't realize it's for a reason. It's so
Yeah.
that that person has less of a headache. And I always tell people, like, I know people pitch music supervisors all the time. Keep in mind, their job is to clear stuff and replace the songs that can't be cleared.
Mhm.
They're not always the ones that like put the songs in there. Sometimes they'll give like the coordinator or the supervisor will give the editor like lists to use from, and that's just like based on what they know that they can clear. Sometimes it'll be extreme music because they already have a license with them, so they already have like a monthly whatever, you know what I'm saying, so they know that they can do it from there. Sometimes what I'll do is I have friends that are editors, and I will send them stuff that are clearable. I'll send them like a list of like 100 songs, different genres that are clearable, and usually it'll be stuff that we just released. It'll be stuff that's gonna be released. Like, I usually do it per quarter. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't think a lot of people know that I do that, but that is one of the things that I do. I don't think I've ever said that on a podcast before, but
Mhm.
I definitely do. Like like networking is important, and yes, it's important to network with music supervisors and other people, but like you should also know like really how it works. I think so many people try to get into sync don't watch TV.
Right. I'm one of
You know,
them.
no, but like the thing is, a lot of people just like so many people hear the buzzword and they don't really know exactly how it affects their life.
Right.
You know, and it does. It affects their life quite a bit. They just don't really realize it. And if you, I think so many people don't know what it is. but they want the money that comes with it. But if
Mhm.
you just kind of take a second to like really understand how it affects your life, you can probably, like, if you're somebody that watches football or watches baseball or watch
Right.
boxing, or you watch
Right.
rom-coms or you watch action flicks, know what you consume, because everything that you consume influence your music consumption also. People
Uh-huh.
don't realize that
Yeah.
every single top 10 song,
Was influenced
it
by something.
no, it's in a movie or TV
Okay.
show.
Uh-huh.
Like 2025's song of the year, Golden, Netflix,
Okay.
K-pop Demon Hunters. The year before was the Post Malone joint, Sunflower. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that was on Spider Verse. And if you think of like all the people that we only know through sound, when's the last time you heard the respect to them? I really fuck with them, but when's the last time you heard a 21 Pilots record?
I mean,
It
probably
was
like
when Suicide Squad came out, because they had a bunch of songs on Suicide Squad.
yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
the song from the Fast and Furious that Wiz Khalifa did, "See You
Charlie
Again."
Puth. Yeah.
Without that movie, it's a good song, but it probably wouldn't have had the same influence.
Matter
And
of fact, Charlie Puth literally said that in an interview. They put it out before the movie came out and it did okay.
right,
When it went out, number one immediately.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
And
because it was easily cleared, and so they were able to increase their market. They got
yeah.
paid for that, and because it
Well,
was used
actually, that
exclusive,
one was made. No, that one was made for was made for Fast and Furious. Matter of fact, he was saying that there was like 100 people in that room telling Wiz exactly what to say, and he was just so patient with it, because
wow,
they were like
I've been in
they
those
were
rooms.
no, and he they were like, they told Wiz they liked the second verse, but mention family in there, and he even said, how can we not mention family? And if you remember the bridge, that's the first thing that he says in the bridge. How can we not mention family? He literally just
That's
put
funny.
that
Yeah,
right in there. And
yeah,
usually you do that. Like, if you
yeah.
think about all, I what's it called? I Love Myself. That was a sync people don't realize. That was
Uh-huh.
in The Intern, starring Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway.
Okay,
Right before right after, or no, right before All About the Bass by Megan Trainor, which was also a sync record.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston, Bodyguard. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Most a lot of Tyrese, a lot of lately, Baby Boy, she's
Mhm.
just a babe. That's a sync. Deep Cover sync. 187 on an undercover. That's a sync. You know,
So, so then I got a question.
yeah.
As somebody like yourself, you said that when artists write for sync, they feel
Hmm.
you feel like they limit themselves. They're not letting it be natural. They're not making the best quality music. But in sync, there are certain strategies that can be used. Like if
Oh,
I'm talking
absolutely.
about this is going to be big, right? That can be
Yeah,
related to anything, and that can be
yeah.
used on a lot of different areas.
I like that you
That's what
brought that
I like,
up.
you know.
Yeah, well, because it really depends on like what you're good at. Because yeah, people do that all the time. The reason why I tell people not to write for sync is because it sounds forced, and they can tell.
Uh-huh.
There are people who don't sound like they're writing for sync. They actually just write, but everything is like super clear. D Smoke is a perfect example.
Uh-huh.
You listen to a D Smoke song, you do not think that it's for sync. But if you listen to like his song called Chin Up, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it's called Chin Up. And it's like structurally, you can tell that it sounds like it sounds like a replacement for All Right by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
And like there's different things like that you can hear. Like there's another record he has with another person that like you're like, oh, that's definitely Win by J Rock, or this is Shawty by T-Pain, or this is this or that. You know what I'm saying? You can hear where they're like, oh, it's too expensive to get this, so let's get this guy.
Because a lot of time in the briefs, you're exactly right. They're going to send you what's called a reference
Yep.
track. And then you look in there and you've got, okay, they really want this song, but
Yes.
like you said, it's too expensive.
Yep.
So then they send it out to us who would accept a lower price, right? And we create different renditions of something that's similar to it. And then they pick their favorite, and that's what lands.
Or and this is the part I dislike, and I'm sure music supervisors don't really like doing this either because I know they get a bad rap sometimes, but they're musical as well. I think a lot of people don't realize that music
Yeah.
supervisors also come from music sometimes,
Yeah.
not all the time, but sometimes, and they're relaying what the executive producer or whatever is saying.
Hmm.
When it comes to like the instructions, and a
Right.
lot of those instructions don't necessarily make sense. Like you said, sometimes it's a money issue, but sometimes it's a content issue. And sometimes when it's a content issue, a lot of it don't make sense when they ask you for stuff. I
Right.
remember one time we were asked for a song to replace "Touch the Sky" by Kanye,
Okay.
but it shouldn't sound sampled.
Okay. So then, yeah, hearing that, it sounds super specific, but hearing
Yes.
that, we're gonna create our own trumpets. We're gonna,
Hmm.
yeah, I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying. Maybe use
Yeah.
a similar BPM and key,
Yes.
so it still has that
Exactly.
feel, but
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Or they'll be like, "We want a song that sounds like a Lizzo song, but we don't want you to mention women empowerment."
And then sometimes they'll even tell you,
Yeah.
we want you to say this
The
person's
word
lyrics,
banana in the hook.
or not even, yeah, they will say that, but
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
saying more like I've had briefs come in where they want you to remake a song, trailerize, and they want
Yeah.
you to say the same lyrics because
Hmm.
they probably got it cleared on the back end with that
Yeah.
artist.
They have it cleared publishing wise, but they need a new
Yeah.
master, is what they need.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, a lot of times when you'll hear they'll hear like a scary trailerized version of a song or like a different trailerized version of a song. Sometimes you'll get the track outs of that thing, and you'll get like the stuck on a feeling or whatever. You'll hear like
Uh-huh.
the little
And then the beat goes
boom.
boom,
Yep,
drops, and
exactly.
goes into
Yep. And then the Slimer will come out, and then they'll be like Ghostbusters. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Sometimes it has to be you because they can't afford the master.
from the
When they
original.
do that, or they'll be like, we're not gonna use the original. Like I know that Steven Tyler or Taylor, or Stephen Bishop, he's a like an easy listening guy from back in the day. He gets a lot of sync requests, and his wife slash manager is on Instagram. Her name is Liz Camlet, I think,
Okay.
and she like a lot of the times she'll be like, "This is Steven turned down a $7 million sync deal. This is why."
Yeah.
Because a lot of times there's stipulations that really don't make sense. Sometimes, like you said,
You gotta read the
sometimes
contract.
you
People are
really got to
so
read the
they
contract.
get excited because 'cause they're like, "Oh, I got a placement," and
Yeah.
then they realize that AB they could be losing
Dude,
rights.
that's happened to me a bunch of times. And the thing is, the reason why I like doing volume is because I've lost a lot of songs over bad deals like that. And I
Uh-huh.
don't mind because I can make more. I've lost some that I like, but I've made more that I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's a lot where like I love the collaborators on it where I feel like my deal wasn't like the greatest, but I'll never not clear it or ask for more because those specific songs remind me of bad deals, but not in the way that is like negative. Like it reminds me that bad deals still make me money.
Right. Well, I mean, one
Like
thing that Rick Ross said in an interview one time, he said the reason why he thinks he's super financially successful is because he doesn't leave money on the table. If somebody comes to him trying to get a feature and their budget is lower than what it is, screw it. He'll accept it, write it, and move on because he didn't leave
mhm,
any money on the table. And so then
mhm.
he just reinvests that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. There's a lot of people that do the like clearable like chorus or hook or verse by like the famous person. That's
Mhm.
not the worst thing in the world, especially to get discovered. The problem is when you go to sync that record, especially like I told you, like if people the music supervisors like you, they're gonna go into your catalog and
Yeah.
find the one that they like. And you have no control over that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so that's one of the reasons why I always tell people don't do it the backwards way that everyone else is doing it because
Yeah.
I can only imagine all the people that you and I know that are super talented that are prioritizing like what they like over what is like financially secure.
Yeah.
And they could be like, look, financial proof is always better than social proof.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
so many people come to me like, you're not like, I get sponsors all the time for like a lot of the artists that I work with because I can show them like direct to like consumer sales, or whether it's like syncs, or like I can show them proof of
Uh,
stuff that I'm doing. So a lot of the times that hits you more. Especially like, I think that artists are undervaluing college radio.
college radio. What is that?
It's radio in college.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
just got out of college. I didn't know there was like a station
Like
specific.
for example, no, for example, AU has a great college radio system. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like there's so many colleges that have like registered radio stations that when you get your songs played, and they'll actually show up, because you get paid for that.
Okay. Cool. And you're
And you
saying
get,
they're playing it on campus?
yes, they're playing on
Okay, nice.
campus or on
Wow.
the college radio stations. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Also, like MTVU, that sort of thing. Well, that's not a thing anymore. But like back in the day, like it was so easy to get on there, where you just kind of like, you really just had to be good at it. And with the like kind of resurrection of like the blog era, kind of, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? With the way that like people are noticing, whether it's podcasts or like the resurrection of literally like pigeons and planes is back. You
Right.
know, and even like J. Cole operating like a blog era rapper. Like same thing with Wiz. Like everybody's kind of doing the blog era approach again. You know,
Because when
I
you get
think
credits, when you are able to say, I've worked with ABC, I have music placed on over here, that shows that you're trustworthy. That shows that you're easy to
yes,
work. It shows that people who they respect
yeah,
you, which means they're more willing to give you that trust and the, okay, cool,
exactly.
we'll do this placement with you, as opposed to somebody random who's got a million followers, but no real credits or real placements.
And that's the thing. Like people can fake numbers actually do lie now.
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah, no, for sure. I
um,
mean, look at Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us."
yeah.
Immediately, it all went down. It was on a botted streams.
What Yes and no. So a lot of the times, I mean, yes, of course, almost every label bought streams, but it wasn't even
Yeah,
that. So usually when an artist tours, the numbers will go down the days that they tour, because those artists are those people are at the concert, and then
yeah,
it'll usually double or triple the day after. um One of the things that a lot of people value that number, when in reality, like even
yeah,
like monthly listeners can be gamed. All of it can be gamed. What can't be gamed is bodies and seats.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that can't be gamed. And that's why I always tell people to value like actual like physical and financial proof.
Yep.
Let's say you have 100 followers, right?
Mhm.
But they're people you really know. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You can't really be mad that you know enough people to fill up a small room
Mhm.
and think you're not doing anything. I mean,
Right.
perhaps I think the way that people are interfacing with that audience is wrong, because what I would do is know every person's first, last name, where they live, size shirt they wear. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because if I did that, then I would know where to tour and where to bring the fucking merch.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? And then I would use that data to go on Indie on the Move and kind of map out something.
Like what you're saying is the key is you can have a million followers, but if you don't cultivate them right, you can make
Yes,
more money if you have 100 followers and they're all real fans. They're people who really
dude.
support
Like if you have a million followers that won't give you $1 each, do you have a million followers?
you. Right. Are they just followers or are they like actual
Yeah.
fans?
That's why I think so many people say it now, social media is dead. It's the era of interest media. I think so many people hear that. Yeah.
Interest media.
Interest media, because instead of, it's like what we said before, like instead of a monolithic culture, that's what would have been social media. Because next day at work you're at the cooler talking
Mhm.
socially. And
Yeah.
essentially social media was supposed to like be the continuation of the cooler, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But because of how the algorithm works now,
Mhm.
everything is splintered. So nobody's really talking to anybody at that cooler. Like nobody
Okay.
has the same interest. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. It's all different. It's the
It's all
same thing that
different.
like if I were to make an account posting a ton of just funny videos, that
People
goes
that like
viral.
funny videos will like you, but
If I
not
then say, okay, screw the funny videos, I'm gonna post me rapping,
nothing.
they don't care. They don't care about and I think that's the big thing, because I
Mm,
wanna segue into AI, and how it
yeah,
affects it, but I think that's a big thing of where the music industry is gonna go when, as AI becomes more popular, because like you said, we're competing with a lot of robots. So I think the biggest thing that's gonna make success as an artist is gonna be your branding, how you present yourself, what makes people actually like you, not just good music, because there's good music coming out every day. Like, I'm
yeah.
confident I
Well,
make a
I mean,
lot of music, and I'm confident a lot of it is great. Not all of it, but it's like,
well, the
how do I
thing
brand.
that's, and I'm sure people are gonna like AI is gonna get to the place where it really tugs on the heartstrings, right? The thing that separates AI from, I think that once like the next 2-3 years even,
Uh-huh.
because of the deals that they have with the labels,
Universal,
right?
yeah,
It's gonna get better for sure. But the problem that they're gonna have is that every like breakout star was a star that the labels didn't want to like bank on. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay,
Alanis Morissette, they wanted to shelve her. Lady Gaga, they wanted to shelve her. Like you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Katy Perry, they wanted to shelve. No Doubt, same. Like these are all people that kind of every time they put out something, they kind of like shift the culture a little bit.
yeah,
So without that, because the whole definition of what like generative AI does is it gives you like kind of the overall average. So it gives you like so many people are focused on how realistic it is that they're not focusing on how good or bad it is necessarily yet. You know what I'm
uh-huh,
saying? So the better that it gets, like actually totally, because there's a couple of I hear a lot of good AI out there, but that I can still tell is AI. Like there's one that like
yeah, for sure.
tricked me visually that couldn't trick me audibly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like it was like some Asian girl. I think the thing that did gave it away is she had like tattoos on her neck, and then she had like a bootleg Philippine flag, and you can't do
okay,
that to a Filipino. Like I already like nobody would do that to themselves. Like
right.
so, I think also I have a issue with that. I don't really think that I've seen any like AI artists that were white.
I've seen some
Like
country artists.
no, yeah, but that's country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
Like
AI, like, rap artists for
yeah,
sure is the
AI
same.
rap or R&B. I think every
R&B,
A
yeah,
and
I can see
B,
that.
they're either black or Asian. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
no, for sure.
even Timberland's artist was Asian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, but yeah, I until like the labels really do it, because when the labels do that, I think that that's when they're gonna want to use it in movies and stuff.
right,
But even then, like they've even like if they can even slightly prove that the way that the way that the music was acquired was illegal, then that's kind of the issue. So like a lot of the stuff has to be retrained, and they might not even get that. You know what I'm saying?
and AI is fun to do. I mean, I'm working
Oh
on an
yeah.
album right now called
Mhm,
Art of Official Intelligence, right?
mhm,
Kind of fun. But what I'm doing is I'm having AI make a full song for me, right?
mhm,
And then I grab it and I chop it up. I just send it through a shredder.
mhm,
And then what I'm doing is I'm using it like a sampler and I'm
mhm.
reproducing the record. I'm moving different areas around, chopping it, and then I'm adding my vocals onto it, maybe keeping some vocals here and there to actually create the song. Because
Yeah.
one thing about AI, they say it doesn't have soul. You have to add the soul. And so this is my way of blending it. But when it comes for sync, I would never pitch any of these songs for
No.
sync, and strictly because, like we've talked about before, it's the master that it's sampling.
Mhm.
So AI is
Yes.
a sampler, and
Yeah.
samples are
Well,
super
that's why
risky.
like if you do 11 Labs, which isn't as good as say Suno,
Mhm.
that's a little bit better simply because like it's trained on more, or you could do something like T.o.m.e, even stuff like that, like sync wise, it's still like there's just such a stigma when it comes to artists using AI that you're gonna have an uphill battle every like gate that you have. Like the first thing you're gonna have to do is convince a music supervisor to use it, and if the
Mhm.
executive producer then has to sign off on it, and then the editor, all of which
Right.
jobs are affected by AI. So each, you
Mhm.
know, so you, unless it's like an indie movie where they're using AI in the movie,
Uh-huh.
which I see all the time, that's when those are perfect for it.
Oh, I could
Because
totally see that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
'Cause they
yeah.
don't care about the AI at
Exactly,
that point.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So
that's
like,
cool.
and
Yeah,
look, there is a market for that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that there isn't, especially with
you know?
the advent of like vertical dramas and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like all the little micro dramas and stuff. I'm sure like a lot of the ones, especially out of the country, are using AI. You know?
And that's the big thing that I've been thinking about with AI
Hmm.
is right now there's a social pressure, I feel like, among,
Hmm.
soups
Hmm.
to not use AI because they wanna
No, no, it has nothing to do with social pressure. They're just legally not allowed to use it.
Okay, for sure,
Yeah.
cool. But they're not using the AI, but at what point does that, legal authority get loosened up, and instead of just sending us briefs, they just type the brief up and put it into Suno, and now they've got their own records.
Uh, I'm pretty sure that'll get, especially like I said, with like the people doing that, because I even know that in video games, they try to do that, but the actual gamers are the ones that kind of hear it and don't fuck with it because they have to hear it over and over again.
Uh-huh,
Now,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
which I think is a little silly if I'm being honest. And look, I know composers are going to come for my neck with that because I'm a
uh-huh,
producer. Because
yeah,
I'm a producer who doesn't use AI for the stuff. I use loops and stuff, but I won't use AI just because I know the legal head. I actually have a song where I reproduced it because I actually used just a 4 bar loop
right,
on early Suno. I think it might have been Udio, like a 4 bar loop that I then like totally messed with. I recently like reproduced the whole song, and legally it's a headache to try to sync still. And there
right.
is no part of the master that was from the AI that's in there, and they're still like, uh,
So correct me if I'm wrong, the new AI laws are that if a song is 80% human made, then you can claim 100% of the publishing.
not anymore.
That changed. Okay, tell me about that.
There, that wasn't that that was what they proposed. That was what they proposed.
Okay,
That wasn't what like that wasn't what they like actually settled. The courts were like, the laws that are in place are good enough to adhere to, like if you don't legally like source it, no,
uh-huh,
and like so Suno and Udio, like you can't really use it to make music. You can use like the new stuff, but all that old stuff, technically, like nobody will really do anything with it. You're allowed to, like, even with the new Udio, I mean the new Suno stuff, you don't legally own it, so like you can't
mhm.
really like do anything with it like
Well,
that.
you have commercial rights, so you can upload it to distribution,
Yeah, no, but then
talk more
you
about the
like,
publishing.
no, you can't clear it for publishing because they even said that like if it's generated, even if like they really can't tell where it would start and stop.
Uh-huh,
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have clear, like let's say like how you're letting the song generate
yeah,
like completely.
yeah,
Now if you used, like I said, T.o.m.e, where it's they're like using a vocal mask almost. You know what I'm
uh-huh,
saying? But you're the one doing it. So you're going and you're chopping that shit up.
uh-huh,
That's closer to what they mean.
because you wrote the
Not
melody.
only that, like it's trained, like T.o.m.e, similar to 11 Labs, is trained on ethical AI.
Right.
Like it's trained on people that sung, and then you're like kind of there,
It's used as an auto tune at that point. It's no different than
No, no,
Anta.
no, 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 no. It's like a filter. like
Okay.
from TikTok or something, but for
Okay.
your
Cool.
voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Kind of. It's like an auto tune kind of effect. It just changes your
No,
vocal
no, no, no,
from
not
one
auto
to
tune.
another.
No. It literally, like, for example, if you had like the Kendrick thing, you'll sound like Kendrick Lamar.
Right. Yeah. It
You know what I'm
just
saying?
transforms your
But
vocal.
what it's doing, it won't be Kendrick Lamar. It'll be people that they legally got the license to like use their likeness.
Right.
So
So
they're
then
the ones singing. Yeah.
for somebody like myself, who like you're saying, or I was saying, I chopped up the vocal, chopped up the whole
Mhm,
song, shredder, made it my own.
mhm.
How would you even publish that? Because
You
you
wouldn't.
still are
You
entitled
wouldn't. You
to your
wouldn't.
right.
You wouldn't.
You just wouldn't
Well, you
publish it. All you're saying? Because you,
no
what about your
like
writing
no
copyright?
no. So how would I do it legally? What I would do is I would make a clearable version and register that version, and then everything be a derivative of that.
Okay, so you're saying make a clearable version, and then when you publish
License that one, like I'll register that over the other version, and then just make the other one a derivative of that, not the other way around.
interesting. Okay, because then you can still claim the copyright for your lyrics.
Yes.
Interesting, and because then if you don't do that, then
Mhm.
your lyric copyright is at risk. Somebody could just take it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But
Yeah,
this is why like AI is a headache and a half right now.
yeah, for sure. And I think to be honest, I mean, I heard an Elon Musk quote, and I think he might have a point. Low key,
Yeah. What?
he said that within the next 10 to 20 years, at the time of the interview, and he said
Mhm.
closer to 10, he said that AI is going to take over every job. AI
Mhm.
robotics are going to come and take over every job. So currency is irrelevant.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
kind of
mean,
intimidating, but like,
it shouldn't be. I think the reason why it's intimidating is because people are chasing currency right now. They're not
right.
chasing purpose. Um, I
That's
think I might have told. I think we might have talked about Star Trek, right? Did we talk about Star Trek?
a little bit. Yeah.
Because or even like Orville, if you ever watch Orville. But the
Okay.
reason why, if nobody ever really talks about this, but the reason why they don't have pockets in Star Trek is because they don't have money, and
Right.
everybody. I think they do talk about this in Orville because there's it was actually I think one of the last episodes of the last season that they did like 10 years ago,
Mhm.
but they're still planning on doing another season. They just take forever to do it. But there's a scene in there where this person that's from a future that's a lot, I mean, from a planet that's evolved very similar to ours, where they sentence people to death based on their social ranking. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Um
That's
yeah,
crazy.
right. Where like if people enough people don't like what you've done, they'll put you to death. Like they have like likes and dislikes, but like too many dislikes will get you
And you
killed.
said that's a TV show?
It's called the Orville. That it started as a Star
Wow.
Trek parody that it turned into like serious social commentary.
Oh, wow.
You know
Look
what
at
I'm saying?
that. That's
Seth
interesting.
MacFarlane. It's actually Seth MacFarlane's show.
It gives me
Uh,
Hunger Games vibes.
no, no, no. I mean, that particular planet was, but what happened was, there was a continuation of that episode where one of them like sent like a distress signal, being like, "I want to be beamed off because it's getting bad out here,"
Mhm.
and then like they picked her up, and then she because there's something called the Prime Directive in Star Trek. I don't know if you know what that is. That's when spaceships can't like a starship can't interfere with like an underdeveloped like civilization for fear of like being regarded as gods or kind of fucking with their ecosystem. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And what happened was she was trying to explain to that person because that person was angry that they don't just give them like they have this like matter thing that like kind of just makes whatever you want out of thin air.
Uh-huh.
And because they have that technology,
Yeah.
nobody needed to pay for anything anymore.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I feel like AI is going to be similar to that. And I mean,
for
it's
sure.
kind of getting
For
there
sure.
where like, I can make a website just by like typing in what I want. I mean, you still got to be good at it. Like people still pay me to make websites that have Lovable. There was somebody who had Lovable and paid me to like kind of prompt it better than them.
Right, because you know how to build the website itself, and so
Yeah,
that's why you were saying it's still the purpose. because
Yes.
the AI is going to be able to do everything, but then how is the AI used to do everything, and then
Yeah.
what is the purpose that it's being used for?
Like for example, I'm not crazy about Suno simply because it wasn't made by a musician. It was literally made by a person who said making music should not, should be easy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it
Yeah.
shouldn't be so hard that you can't do it, but it shouldn't be too easy that everybody could do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Uh I mean, like, there's so many AI things that scare me. I mean, I understand like being needing someone to talk to, but AI companions kind of give me the creeps a little. You know what I'm
Uh huh.
saying?
Yeah.
Just because like there's like, you're just kind of avoiding doing stuff. But
It's
I
ingenuine.
mean,
Yeah.
that's always gonna happen. Like I hate to say it, when man has like, some kind of innovation, we're always gonna try to fuck it. Like
Right.
I don't think there's a single dude. We found like a polyester blend that doesn't fuck with our skin, and we made fleshlights. Like we didn't make like things for space. We didn't do
Right.
anything like that. We made a realistic, like orifice. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. No,
like
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, but like just getting back on topic. Like we don't have to talk about that. But by the way, good luck cutting this up.
I got you, man.
Yeah, but uh I do think that so many artists are so focused on how we used to do things
Yes.
that they're attempting and failing without realizing that they're only attempting and failing based on their metric.
Right.
Like they're like putting something out and they didn't get like a gabillion plays and they're like, I failed. But they
Right.
got like 300 and they're like, oh, it's under 1,000. You know what
Uh
I'm
huh.
saying?
Yeah.
They
For
they
sure. It's not
couldn't
showing up on
they
Spotify.
could not get that many people to come to a show. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, people undervalue themselves a lot, and like you said, having 100 real people is a lot greater than having a million bots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having I want to say like having three people that like believe in you and they're like, hey, have you heard this person?
Yeah.
Like that energizes you more than 1,000 bots, bro.
Because it also depends on who's watching. You can have 500,000 views, but only one of them actually has the power to put some purpose to that, to send that to somebody, and the 499,999 other people were just random views that helped you get monetized on YouTube. But that one
But
person
not
is
only
what,
that,
Mhm.
like the internet theory, unfortunately, is pretty real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really a theory at this point. You know what? Have you heard of the dead internet theory?
I haven't, no.
That we're essentially just talking to ourselves. Like, we're just arguing with bots. Like, there's nobody that really disagree with anybody. Like, it's just fabricated.
I think that's a crazy theory.
No, no, like, because if you, like, okay, go to, I mean, the perfect way, like, the new LaRussell thing. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
You go to one that has like a lot of views and you look at the people that are like the most like engaging as far as negativity and you
mhm.
click on them, you'll see that they almost have like zero followers, zero posts, but they're like, you know what I'm saying? They're not
'Cause
real.
they're botted accounts.
Yeah, no, and then you'll see another post defending him and that person's also a bot. You get what I'm saying? Like it's
Uh-huh.
for engagement only. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
eventually you'll get a real person to like, because eventually a real person is going to think that that's a real conversation,
Right.
and so
I'm
they're
gonna
going
have
to
to take
give
some
their
time
two
going
cents,
through
and
some
that's how
interesting
you do it.
comments.
You'll see it happen all the time, and I guarantee it. If you do that to yourself, you'll get engagement. But at what cost? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you can
Right.
do it, but like that's I call it reward hacking. People say that all the time. Have you heard of that?
It's basically just trying to force
Yeah,
success
force
in attention
force
without
a
making it.
result really, because like you're obsessed with the result, not caring about the process, not realizing that
Yes.
like let's say if you spent for a result, that's not bad,
Mhm.
but then you have to spend that same amount of money for that next result.
Right. And is it bringing a return?
Yeah, well, not only that, like it might bringing a return, but is it only bringing a return if you're spending, and then you're only like making that much? Let's say it costs you $20 to promote, you're making $30. Okay, I
Uh
guess.
huh.
You know what I'm
Hey, you
saying?
made $10. That's a good ROA.
Yeah, yeah, it's not terrible, but
Yeah.
like when you stop. spending and you stop getting the $10 or the $30, was that juice worth the squeeze? You know
Right.
what
So
I'm
maybe because LaRussell said once that he doesn't pay for ads to get streams,
saying?
he pays for ads to increase exposure.
Yes,
Because then
and
he has the product that's not it's a good product, and now he's getting the exposure out, which is building his fan base. So he may get 500,000 likes on a post, but only 200,000 of them actually connected, and so
mhm.
that ad spend really was to get that 200,000, not the five.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And not only that, he won't put money into something that isn't engaging. He
Yeah.
probably has a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that like he'll get like 10,000 views, 10,000 views, and then one will get like 30,000 views. That's
Uh-huh.
what he promotes. You
Right.
know, there's so many people that ask me, they're like, "Do I promote it yet? Do I promote it yet?" And it'll say like 1,000 views. Not that bad, but like they, as soon as they see a little spike, they're gonna want like, "Oh, is that it? Is that the thing?"
Mhm.
You'll know. You'll definitely know.
And you can read the analytics on your data to see exactly
Yeah,
where it's sticking and where it's
but
not.
I mean, there's a record that I did with this artist Carl Angelo. Shout out to homie Carl. Carl, Yams, Talila Marfil, Miss A from Morrow Beats, Dave Ira from out here, and Ruby Bar. We had a record called PTI that I produced with the
Yeah.
homie Elmer Abapo, right?
Yeah.
Um, because each of us have like respective like fan bases, we were able to really like get that naturally engaged. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that moved for a minute. It moved from like October to like January. You know what I'm
I even
saying? Like it
submitted
was,
your open verse challenge you guys did. I
yeah,
even
yeah,
verse.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like uh that's something that like people don't realize. Like the reason why that was engaging is because we didn't that was consistent. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I think
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
and like when I woke up, like my phone was on fire. Like it felt hot. Like it actually felt hot.
Yeah.
Like you will know when you have a viral record. Like it'll
Yeah.
feel like a viral record.
Yeah. It
You know what
does.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Because
Yeah.
you get that you're getting real responses. You're
Mm-hmm.
getting real
Yeah.
engagement. You're getting approached to in public about it.
All
You're
the time.
getting you're
Yeah.
getting
Well, see,
DM.
and that's the thing. Even then, like it was so strange because a lot of people in San Diego knew about the record,
Mhm.
but I would go to like a high school and I would go to one one street over, everybody knew who I was. One street over, nobody knew who I was.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just because like I was past the little like point that people even knew me because the way
Right.
virality works, even though everybody in the country who's Filipino who like is on my feed know who I am, there's a lot of Filipinos. You know what I'm saying? So it's still like segregated. I'm not no Justin Bieber, and even then, bro, like someone like Justin Bieber, still like I think Yukon might have been one of the last like it wasn't even necessarily a monolithic like hit the way like a Not Like Us Yet was or
Mhm.
uh like what else is like that even like Hotline Bling was like back in the day, or even
Uh-huh.
like how Back to Back, right? When he did Back to Back, like that one was a moment still.
And that's why it's
Like
important to have it clear too, because then when it does go viral, you can say, "Hey, Mr. Music Supervisor, this
well,
song is
no,
doing
they
this
won't.
as
You
this."
won't even need to do that. You will not need to do that. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
saying people reach out to you?
They're
Yeah.
because that's a sync also.
Right. Yeah,
You
it
know what I'm
is. Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
So
Because
like
it's
if
on
the
social.
first thing they'll be like, hey, like you know what I'm saying? So what's up with this record? Like, like a lot
Right.
of people will approach you. They're like, do you have the rights to this? Is this like, you know what I'm saying? Or, who's on this? You produce it? They'll ask the artist if they produce. They're always hoping for 100%. You know?
Right. So
And the
then
worst go ahead, what are you gonna say?
go ahead, tell me, you go.
I said the worst thing you could do is lie about it. That's the
Oh, for
worst thing
sure.
you could
Yeah.
do.
Well,
No,
I mean,
but
that's
that
just business ethics 101. If you
no,
start lying to your
I
business,
mean,
people
you
might
say
yeah,
that, but like
fine.
if you think about it, almost every like actor has gotten their job because they lied and said they knew how to ride a horse or shoot a gun or you know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
They always say that in like Hollywood. They're like, if you have an opportunity to get a job, lie. Don't do that in
Yeah,
don't do that in sync licensing. You cannot get away with it like that. You know what I'm saying?
and that's probably why LA is everyone's. You're
Hmm.
an Uber driver. Oh well, I'm a
Yes.
corporate
Yes.
concierge
Yes.
for a multi-billion
Absolutely.
dollar company.
Well, no, no. Here's the craziest thing. They usually like when it comes to startups, yeah, like sometimes they're just pre-revenue. So
Mhm.
like they're spending a bunch of money on doing the thing and they legitimately are like a CFO just using Uber so they don't have to like claim certain shit on their taxes and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
Like it's such a crazy thing. But yeah, yeah, you're right. Like a lot of people in LA are kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? And it
So then, on
what
some
were you
on
saying?
on some final thoughts,
Yeah.
for somebody who wants to get into sync and really wants
Okay.
to begin, I've heard you recommend education as
Yes.
the most important thing. I know Control Camp with Eric. He's
Yes. Oh,
actually
I
very
love
instrumental.
Eric. Yeah, yeah. He's great. Oh, also what's his name? Well, the Fingers has one.
Yep, yep.
I know Mickey has one. What's his name? There's another cat. I want to. I can't think of his name, but he works a lot with Eric. There's a few people that do have one. I can't think of his name, but there's another one. I also have one called Modern Nostalgia Club.
Right.
Mine's different in the sense that a lot of the other ones are teaching you how to make music that like sounds like sync so that you can get like the big ticket stuff like ads and stuff. I
Right.
usually go with make a lot of songs so you can find your voice, do
Uh-huh.
what you're good at, like find like your low hanging fruit that you know how to like make a lot of. That way when you make money out of it, then that's when you can start to grow as an artist and really experiment with the safety net of your own music.
When you get a brief, you can relate your sound to the brief,
Yes,
not the
absolutely.
brief to your sound.
Exactly. And like most of the time when I get a brief, I just look through my Rolodex of stuff that I have. And then if I don't have anything in it, I put the brief to the side. I call it a dead brief because I wait till it's dead. And then I'll like either work with a bunch of people to make like 20 to 30 songs that's like for to fit that brief. That way
Uh-huh.
I'll never have a brief that doesn't fit this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, just to have it
Yeah,
available.
exactly. Like that's kind of what I do. But when it comes to sync, yes, the education is important. Another thing that's important though is if you are gonna go with education, here's one that nobody ever thinks of, right? There's a music supervisor named Jazz Benward, and she has something called Create the Room,
Okay.
and she does a lot of great sync talking. She actually was at NAM, and
Oh,
she
cool.
spoke at NAM. So did the Fingers. So they're both really dope. I think Jared Aluya has another one. Like these are all great, like people. And then there's a bunch of music supervisors who you can like actually follow, whether it's like Kier Lehman or I know Ryan Svedson. He's the head of music at Angel Studios. He's really easy to contact. Lindsay Wolfington and Alex Patseves, I believe they're with Netflix. Lindsay Wolfington, like she's like my Michael Jordan. She's like someone who like really like shaped how sync is with One Tree Hill, and like she's one of the reasons they use like more popular people and like, if you ever watched One Tree Hill, she really like they integrated like the music into the show,
Right.
like um and yeah, there's a bunch of people who are pretty easy to follow, and LinkedIn is a great resource as well, you
Nice.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but thank you for coming on.
of
Thank you
course, man.
for sharing the game.
Of
Uh,
course.
definitely got more in the
No, no, you
future.
know what?
Yeah.
Shout out to you because you were like, "Hey, just come on and talk," and that's the easiest. Like this has probably been the most relaxed podcast. I probably won't remember anything that I say, so that when you show me this, it's gonna be interesting to me. You know what I'm
Right. Yeah.
saying?
Well, I think that,
Yeah,
kind of have an idea of what to talk about is
yeah.
important. But I
Oh,
think,
absolutely.
conversation really gets the best clips because it's genuine.
Not only
Uh,
that, you don't even have to like make it like a long thing. You could really just like snip it up and like
no,
do
exactly.
your
That's,
thing.
yeah, exactly what. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'll talk to you later. And honestly, we have a handful of songs together that I've been pitching pretty like
Nice.
aggressively, like the newer stuff, especially like the last like 2 or 3 that we did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. We got a lot
Like
more to do.
those. No, we have a handful of shit that we got to do. So, and not only that, I've been going through like all the old stuff, like stuff with Wazi and all the stuff with Dolby and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I'm still like, I'm still gonna put all that stuff out. It's just like I've been really going through it, like making some of the beats a little more current and taking out like a lot of the splice stuff for like wave stuff, so that everything just sounds more punchy. And I have the license for everything, so
for
that
sure.
everything can like really just kind of get going. But yeah.
And I totally know how that is too. I mean,
No,
like
no, yeah, yeah. Dude,
music
you just
industry,
put out like 2 100 song joints. Like, you know how headache that
100
would be.
song album,
Yeah,
song a week, every week for a little over
yeah,
4 years in a row, still counting. And I
yeah.
still have a back catalog of like 200 unreleased.
No,
You
you know
know,
what the craziest
so
thing is? You know what I would do too? Um, I would re-drop all those 100 things with uh like better audio. Like just do better audio, but do it on trial reels.
you're
Because when
saying
you
the
like
videos of you
the
streaming it?
yeah, the
Yeah.
top 100, and then also drop the song after. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I
Like,
know. I kind of try
yeah,
to
yeah,
blend that in those videos. I was talking
yeah,
about it
yeah,
from the background, but it was just
yeah.
flashing. I wasn't wearing a
No, no,
microphone. So
no, no,
yeah.
no, exactly. And then you can fix all that, but then do it on trial reels, because trial reels go to people who don't know you, and a lot of people worry about likes on trial reels. Just don't even worry about them at all. They use them for reach, because
Because
every
you can release
person.
it as a trial reel and as a regular post.
Yes, yes, but like doing it as trial reels will get you reach. You know what I'm saying? They usually they say that stuff
Hmm.
that you posted before does better.
Interesting. Yeah, because you got people who've never seen you as opposed to
Exactly.
80% have
Exactly.
already seen you and know who you are. So
Yeah.
you're building new.
Yeah. But
Cool.
also like over describing your description. I think that we're so used to not doing stuff in the description. One of the things that I've noticed is all those crazy viral videos, they'll have like a random description that had nothing to do with the video, just to
Yeah,
like, so that's for SEO purposes. You know what I'm saying?
for
So
sure that's what
yeah,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah. But if you like describe that song, it also is for SEO purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really just do the thing where you like kind of like describe the song in the thing, you know what I'm saying? In the description as well. I mean,
Nice.
even if no one's gonna read, like, dude, it's a trial reel. Like,
Right. Dope. Yeah.
do all the crazy like experiments on the trial reel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You definitely got my brain rolling on content
Good.
ideas.
I hope. Yeah. All right,
But
man.
yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate your time, man. God
Of
bless
course.
you.
All
And
right.
many more, man.
All right, man. Hit me. All right. Peace.